Hi, this is Mike Schrader with Encompass Consultants, here to talk about the EC Record Suite. In today's section, we're going to talk about risk-based thinking and risk within your organization. To start off with, I am a certified lead risk manager, and I put a lot of thought into this of what risk thinking is, as outlined in the ISO 9001 standard. Keep in mind that the risk-based thinking is not new. There was definitely present in the 2008 standard of the ISO 9001, but they highlighted it and brought it to center to have us start thinking a little bit more from a risk standpoint as we're doing our quality management system. What can go wrong and how are we going to prevent it, basically, as we go through. So to access the risk-based thinking module, and I tried to make this as simple as possible, so not to have a full-on risk management program, but something that you can actually grow with and you can expand and you have the flexibility with from a risk-based thinking all the way up to a full-on risk program. It's totally up to you on how you want to utilize this tool. So for practical purposes, let's keep it simple. Let's first access the risk-based thinking module and go ahead and select this tile. First comes up into the risk detail. You want to put in your issue. Do a description of your risk here. So you want to put in a description. And then you want to, what department are we talking about? Let's just say that this was tools. What is the specific concern that you're having? What is the initial risk as we're putting this out? Let's just say that, you know what, this is a big concern. We'll put it in as a 4. And the risk after we're going to hold on because we don't know yet because we haven't even filled out the risk. We're going to do under risk actions. What are we going to do about this risk? This is details about the risk. At this time, did this come from another risk that was residual? So, yes or no. Let's just say that there's a new one, so we'll say no. Is this an opportunity? There's a lot of times we can find great opportunities when the risk presents itself against us. And we want to look, at all angles to find out, how we can turn something negative into a positive. At this time, we don't know if it's an opportunity, so let's just say no. Is there going to be any future action to this specific risk as we're recording it? What are we going to do? Maybe we need to follow up or redo our documentation or maybe hire new people, whatever it might be to mitigate this specific area. So we want to put those actions in here. Let's just say that we've added in all of the information and we're going to close it out. The first thing is we want to put in the risk closure notes. Are we sure that we closed this out correctly? Did we put in the right information? Did we take the right actions on the risk itself? So this is just a little repository for risk. As you're going through, who is the owner and when we're going to close it out. Let's just say it was John Freely. We're going to close it out on this date right here. And who's going to be the closing approver? It's going to be Summer. And then we have it and we can actually close it out. Should we monitor this? Of course. Let's just say that you weren't sure really how to use all of these risk things. And I tried to keep it really simple. Anytime that you're curious about how to come up with these specific things, it's a simple formula that we use. So come over here to determine risk or the risk description. They're both the same thing. So when we come over here to the risk description, basically this is how we're going to determine our risk. It's basically impact times likelihood. So how we want to look at this is basically this top chart. We want to look at the impact. Is it significant, non-significant? Is it minor? Is it moderate, significant, or major? And is it very unlikely, likely, possible, or expected? So if you're in this category, obviously you're going to have a 5, 5, 5. So you could just take an average of the two. As you have a 5 for, say, impact and a 5 for this, your risk is going to be a 5. If it's going to be, let's just say, a 5 and a 4, it's still going to be pretty high. So as you go through, so just use this schedule to basically populate your risk. It's very, very simple. Risk is a thing about history. Basically, you have to gain lots of information so you can analyze it over a period of time. And the more information you have, the closer you can come to that actual risk impact. But for this risk-based thinking, we're just trying to have some sort of an idea of what it means to you, and we're trying to do it in a simple format. So let's go ahead and return to the risk. This is the one that we just did. And that's it. Let's just say that you wanted to put in your next risk statement. You should have a few. So you wanted to put in, your next one, you fill this in. Let's just say you want to put in your next one, and you keep going and going. When you want to see a report of all of this, you come over here to the risk summary, and you can see that you have a nice printable report of all of this information, and you can just sit here and edit it, put it all in, keep track of it. You have a good repository of all of your risk. So I hope that helps, and I hope that this was a very good description of risk. It's a tricky thing in many, many areas, and I hope that this tool will definitely simplify your risk-based thinking process. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next module. Thank you.